Jacksonville Jaguars select running back from Florida, Fred Taylor.
Gerard on the give. Here's Taylor. Busting through. Fred Taylor making the cut. Taylor is gone. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Listen, Fred Taylor is a Hall of Famer. He's one of the greatest running backs to ever play in this game. He's the greatest running back to play here in Jacksonville.
Here's the handoff to Taylor, looking for some cutback. He finds some room. Look at Fred go. He's across the 30. Look at him run. Fred's going. He's at the 50, the 40. They won't stop at 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown. 80 yards. Fred Taylor.
He had 6 1,200-yard seasons.
All right.
He also averaged 4.6 yards a carry, which is a high-end number.
Don't sleep on that.
Not at all.
Okay.
And the only running backs to have 6 1,200-yard seasons plus and 4.5 yards a carry or more are Adrian Peterson, Barry Sanders,
Jim Brown.
And here's the handoff to Fred looking for cutback. He's got room right at the middle 10. Fred's there. He's at the 20. Fred's on the run to the 25 and the 30. He's going 40. Fred 50. Fred 40. Fred 30. Fred 25, 20. And pulled down at the 18-yard line by Jason David. He saved the touchdown. What a run by Fred.
You're legitimately argued like the most underrated player of all time. Like, would you put yourself in that category?
That's based on media standard. Talk to Ray Lewis. You talk to Ed Reed. Name anybody that was on defense. These coaches. Talk to Coach Dungy. Talk to Jeff Fisher. Coach Belichick. All these coaches that had the game plan for me, they knew what I presented on the field. They knew I was a problem. I'm sure they wouldn't say I was overrated.
Draw play. Taylor skips 2 tackles. Right, and here we go. Yeah. Bye-bye. Brock Marion chasing. Brock Marion still chasing. Gets help from Smith. Touchdown. No flags. A 90-yard run.
Fred Taylor spent 11 years with the team, and today he signed a one-day contract so he could retire a Jaguar.
I guess the terms of the one-day deal is just having the opportunity to close out and do what I always wanted to do, and that's retire as a Jaguar.
Now, Jaguars Today on 1010XL with Mike Dempsey, Fat Tony, and RJ Saunders.
All right, welcome in, everybody. RJ, where am I looking today? I'm a one-camera guy in here. We've got nobody in the studio with me today. Am I looking? I think I'm over here. Is this where I'm at? Wow, that's not like my normal camera right there. So I don't know what to do here with myself on YouTube.
Your normal camera. Still look nice though.
I was told that this is Hacker Cam because Hackers does the show by himself.
Cam, yeah.
So I'll do Hacker Cam today. Might do a little bit of that. What does it say about me that when you fired that open and I heard with the 9th pick, I said, we got a C.J. Henderson open? Like, what in the world?
We were trying to go into the deep cuts.
I guess. Like, I'm pretty sure, although we may have made a C.J. Henderson open, and then he probably looked disapprovingly at it, like, I'm not going to be excited. And then everyone trying to make excuses for why he doesn't look excited. Oh, he's just a young guy. Yeah, every young guy who gets drafted is bouncing off the walls, but C.J. Henderson, man. I wish Dave Caldwell wasn't such a nice guy, and he really was one of the nicest people in the organization that I've ever had to deal with. But, man, did he make some curious selections, including the C.J. Henderson one in the top 10 right there. C.J. Henderson played how many games for the Jags, would you say, RJ, in his illustrious career here?
27?
10.
Good God almighty.
Played 10 games with the Jags. Okay, he played 8 in his rookie season. He played 2 in his next season before being shipped out to the Carolina Panthers. And he is, was a sporadic starter with them, was with Atlanta last year where he managed to get into 4 games. Man, what a non-illustrious beginning. He's still only 27 years old. But anyway, way too much focus put on C.J. Henderson. But you did catch me with that number 9 pick. Yeah, we had another pretty good one there. Freddie T. Back in the day, you heard Brian Sexton on a bunch of those highlights there. And Brian's going to join me in studio tomorrow. Former voice of your Jacksonville Jaguars, now senior correspondent over at Jaguars.com. Can't wait to have that all come together. We got the current voice of the Jags coming up today. We're going hard into the Frangie show today. We got the embedded reporter, Hayes Carlyon, coming up in less than 10 minutes, talking all things Jags ball. And we've got the voice of the Jags in hour number 2, Frangie, stopping by. In the meantime, RJ, you and I are going to suss out all kinds of Jaguar issues here for ourselves, including with the question of the day. Out of the ones we gave you to choose from, and I think they're the most obvious ones, which position group, how did we word it today? Which position group worries you the most for the Jacksonville Jaguars? And this is based off of a CBS Sports piece. Yeah, which position groups worry you the most for the 2026 Jags? I guess I should have said group. But the 4 options we're giving you are defensive line, because I'm thinking, I don't know if defensive line keeps you up at night, but what do we hear? What does this team need? Pass rush. Do we have enough pass rush? That may be the number one concern for some people. So that's what I was thinking when I put defensive line in the mix. Linebacker, which is what CBS Sports eventually got around to suggesting was the Jags' biggest issue. Was that the weirdest little write-up you saw on the Jags recently over at CBS?
Yeah, I mean, because it took you a long way to get there.
Right. It said, all right, the Jags is linebacker. Okay, fine. Right. And I get it. You're replacing Devin Lloyd. What are the answers going to be there? And you read it like the big first paragraph says nothing about linebackers, talks about the offensive line a bunch. The second paragraph doesn't mention anything. And then like the final sentence of the third paragraph. Ventrell Miller will be replacing Devin Lloyd. And, why is that? I mean, I understand why that's the issue, but if you're writing this and you're somewhere, elsewhere in the AFC South, and you're like not into the lore of the Jaguars roster, you might need a little bit more information. I did find it striking because every other team in the AFC South that they listed an issue for, by the second sentence of the write-up, they're talking about that issue. It was just strange the way it came about. Anyway, defensive line and linebackers on that side of the ball. Offensive line, because that is what, honestly, the CBS piece spent the most time on, particularly critiquing the interior 3. So we'll get to that as well. And then running backs, which is, I think, fairly the most unproven room that the Jags have on offense or defense at the moment. At least with linebacker, you've got a veteran leader in there in Foye Oluokun. And so anyway, you can vote on that today. You can do a whole lot of different things today. You can be a part of the program on the air at 641-1010 on the Key Buick GMC phone line. Same line, same number for the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can stream us on YouTube, on X, on Facebook, on MySpace. Oh, do we get a ding for that? Are we streaming on MySpace?
Who knows? That website still may be a thing.
I thought I snuck one past you right there. You can also stream us on the 1010XL 92.5 FM apps. We've got distinct apps because sometimes we carry different programming on the 2 different channels. We're that much of a superstation. What else am I forgetting here, RJ? Listen to the radio, which you may be doing right now, and maybe you didn't realize you can listen to a radio program on the radio. Some of us are still on the radio, these radio programs out there. Or you can hit up RJ and myself on the socials at MD_1010XL or at RHasNoJ. All right, we're ready to roll today. Got some other nuggets we're going to dig into. ESPN did their top 10 wide receiver list, and at first I was like, all right, Brian Thomas got votes, so that's a good sign. Then I saw a couple of the names on there. I'm like, what are we doing here? So again, don't take these lists. I don't want to get too bullish when the Jags get a little bit of praise. And keep in mind, Brian Thomas is right outside the top 10 last year, and deservedly so, it felt like. And at the same time, when they don't seem to recognize what we feel are the strengths of the team, we tend to bash them or look off to the side at them, however. So, again, it's not gospel, but it is interesting because these are people that don't have to attach their name to it. They can vote any way they like, executives, coaches, scouts from around the league. So we'll touch on that a little bit later on as well. All right, the voice of the Jags, Frangie in hour 2, but the hammer, Hayes Carlyon. It's a little hammer time on Jaguars today. That's straight ahead here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for DraftKings live in all 50 states. That includes the great state of Florida. The Cup is down to its final matches. You got a semi, you got a consolation game, you got the championship match, one trophy, one champion, and DraftKings has you covered for every single one of those matches. The DraftKings app now live in Florida, so no matter when you're watching, how you're taking them in, you're in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app. And right here in Florida, the world's biggest stage is in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers, sign up with code 1010XL, spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards over 21 days. That's code 1010XL in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim, issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends July 19th. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo.
Jaguars
today
from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. This World Cup soccer update is laced up by Valvoline Instant Oil Changes and Houston's Meats.
Westwood One Sports presents this World Soccer Update, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes bundling home and auto easy. Learn more at progressive.com. I'm Erica Herskowitz. Defending champion Argentina's pursuit of becoming the first team to win consecutive World Cups since Brazil did it 64 years ago is alive and well. Lionel Messi and company will be taking on rival England in Atlanta later today. Playing in his second World Cup semi, England goalie Jordan Pickford expects a tough match.
It's always a competitive game, and for me it's always, we look at the route, the upsets of not England versus Argentina. I think you look at the route everyone's getting here, and I think it's the top 4 nations in the world playing against each other in the semi-finals, and yeah, it's going to be a great game, a great atmosphere.
Today's winner advances to play Spain, which shut down France in the semi yesterday 2-0. I'm Erica Herskowitz, Westwood One Sports.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
Get ready to gear up for the final stretch. Henkel Summer of Soccer Sweepstakes is giving fans the chance to win U.S. Soccer store gift cards to stock up on everything you need to support the home team. Last chance to win, enter now. No purchase necessary. Starts June 16th and ends July 31st, 2026. Must be 18 and a resident of the contiguous United States. Sponsored by Henkel. Henkel, proud partner of U.S. Soccer.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jax. When you need a trailer hitch, gooseneck, or RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We've been doing it for 55 years, and customer service is our #1 priority. Visit cannonsofjax.com.
It's Awaken 180 Weight Loss Wednesday
on Jaguars Today.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Pick it here. For nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools have been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pool, summer starts here. License number CPC 044080.
Anything can happen at the Open Championship.
Oh, he's done it.
Play fantasy golf against your favorite 1010XL personalities.
You could win $1,000 in jewelry from Beard's Diamonds.
Enter at 1010XL.com. Teed up by Endless Summer Roofing.
1010XL's coverage of ACC football kickoff is brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. Listen for interviews of coaches, players, and analysts as they preview the upcoming ACC football season.
Tom McManus here for Armstrong Fence Company, a locally owned First Coast business for nearly 20 years. Hurricane season is here. Don't wait for the first storm warning. Your fence is your first line of defense. Loose boards, weak posts, or damage can turn into big problems when high winds come around. Armstrong Fence Company handles repairs and builds from stadiums to backyards. Get a pre-storm fence check today. Call Armstrong Fence Company or search online. Armstrong Fence Company. Yeah,
We did the fence.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Awaken 180 clients have just reached the 1 million pounds down mark. 1 million pounds. A city of people. That's thousands of people who reclaim their lives the easy way, the medication-free way. What's stopping you? Awaken180weightloss.com.
In Jacksonville, we love our sports. You might say we flip out over them. Football, baseball, soccer, hockey, basketball, golf, and there's our outdoor game, fishing, surfing, and just chilling. There's so much to do, it will make your head spin. But keep your cap on because Visit Jacksonville has you covered. Check out visitjacksonville.com/locals or download the Visit Jax app and stay on the ball for all the upcoming sports events in Jax. Go local, go sports. Jacksonville, the flip side of Florida.
Registration is now open for the Alive Credit Union Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament. Over $300,000 in cash prizes across all tournaments July 11th through 18th, including a 28-foot contender in the Kingfish Tournament or a huge cash payout in the Beach Tournament. The Redfish Tournament is back too. Lady and junior anglers are always welcome, and spectators can enjoy exhibits, food, and kids' activities all week. Register at kingfishtournament.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
Everything you need to know about the Jaguars today on 1010XL.
You know what that sound means? MC Hayes Carlyon has joined us. The Hammer from the Frangie Show, our 1010XL embedded Jaguars reporter, fresh off vacation. I'm sure ready to sprint the next 2 weeks towards Jaguars training camp. Hayes Carlyon, good morning to you, sir.
Mike, good morning. Thanks for having me on. And yeah, let's do it. I'm ready. Let's get to week one.
Yeah, do you want to get to it, or you still want to kind of slow play the next couple weeks before training camp, before all of our lives change immensely?
No, I'm ready. I honestly, like, for me, I'm so much happier during football season as a sports fan than any other time of year. So yeah, it's obviously we're running around a lot, but I love it. So I wish the football season was longer.
Wow.
So, no, I'm ready. I need to be out there.
Fair enough. All right. I mean, we should look. We got a great light covering the Jacksonville Jaguars in large part, so nobody really is complaining about that. Hayes, what is something the Jags should have done or should have addressed this offseason, in your opinion, that you're not sure if they did it to your satisfaction yet?
I still think depth at the edge is the real concern. If something were to happen to Josh Hines Allen or Trayvon Walker, it seems like low probability plays, in terms of what they currently have, on the roster, with some second year undrafted guys in Strigow and Green, and, a late round, couple rookie draft picks there. So, I mean, I like Gardeck and he can help, but I don't think he's if he's your third guy, I think that's a problem. And so, I would say, signing a veteran edge player to, supplement what I think is two really strong players in Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker. But they could still do this, obviously, as they get, I would think once they get back from New Orleans from the joint practice and the game with the Saints, they'll have a pretty good idea of the development of those young edge players. And maybe at that point you pursue a veteran, but that would be my biggest concern. And something that I am surprised that they didn't get around to doing yet. still could.
Sure.
And I think they probably will have to. But yeah, I'm surprised they didn't do it to this point.
All right. A lot of people look and wonder how are they going to replace Devin Lloyd effectively this year. Somebody called in last week and put it in such simple terms, Hayes, that I'm surprised. It's really stuck with me. And they said, look, it might have been on a text line, whatever the case, but they said, look, Devin Lloyd wasn't going to be able to replace Devin Lloyd this year. Chances are he had the greatest season he'll ever have, and he was not going to have another 99-yard interception return on Monday Night Football. He's not going to have 5 picks among the league leaders, and I thought that's a pretty fair way to look at it. But in terms of what they can get out of the guys that they have on the roster, give me your confidence level and how much of that comes from coaching staff, how much of that comes from the talent that they have on hand.
I agree with you and that member of the audience. I don't think losing Devin Lloyd is some cataclysmic loss for the Jaguars. I mean, he's a good player. I certainly don't think he's irreplaceable. If it ends up being a situation where whoever it ends up being is an adequate player, I don't think that that's a huge drop off from what they had there. So, but yeah, I would think between Ventrell and we'll see about Combs, what kind of development he continues to make. But again, that's another position where if you don't like, how your in-house options are developing when you get, a week into camp with you're having the pads on for a full week, come back, again, have the joint practice and the game with the Saints, that's another position that you could always look at adding a player. So, I don't think it's much of a concern at all. And it's nothing against Devin, but I would agree. I think, that's by far the best season that Devin Lloyd will probably have. He was a pretty flawed player going into last year. And then, the ball found him and he deserves credit for that. But there's probably some good fortune in that as well. So I'd be surprised if we get to like week 6 and the conversation around town is, boy, they really messed up by not bringing Devin Lloyd back. That would really surprise me.
All right. Hayes, what do you see with a couple weeks to go before camp as the biggest strength that the Jacksonville Jaguars can lean on right now?
I think their biggest strength is going to be the passing game because I have full confidence in Liam Cohen. I mean, I think that he's a year from now going to be, talked about nationally as one of the best coaches in the NFL and in professional sports. And he's just such a gifted offensive mind that you give him this array of tools to work with. You give him obviously a high level quarterback. You give him this multiplicity of looks that he can now employ, whether he wants to go receiver heavy, tight end heavy. He's capable of doing that with the roster that they've built. And as an opposing defensive coordinator, you just don't know what to focus on. And other than like the Texans and Broncos, I really don't think there's a defense out there that can really just say, all right, we're going to be able to match up to whatever you guys, if you want to throw it to Jacoby Myers a bunch, we can match that. If you want to try and get it to BTJ a lot, we can, I just don't think there's a lot of defenses that can handle Parker Washington and Brenton Strange and Thomas and Myers. And, you're seeing Trevor finally have that confidence and I don't think that's going away. And while I don't know that they'll run the ball magnificently well, I just would be surprised if it's such a problem that defenses don't have to worry about it at all. So, I mean, I think the passing game is going to be really hard to stop because, I mean, it's just going to be very difficult to be able to cover everything the Jaguars can throw at you. And, you throw in the scheme that Cohen runs and how well he's able to just get guys open. I think it's going to be a real problem for teams trying to slow down the Jaguar passing attack.
All right, note to self, Hayes and I are both participating in our 1010XL Fantasy Football Mock Draft for our podcast here at 1010XL. We're going to do that today. Go around early on Trevor Lawrence if you see Hayes lurking right now. It just sounds like at this point in time. So I'm just making notes.
Absolutely. I mean, I think, Mike, and I'm curious what you think, but I mean, I think you're looking at a season where Trevor Lawrence is going to, shatter Bortles' records here. I mean, I think 35 passing touchdowns and 4,428 yards. I will be surprised if he stays healthy, obviously.
For sure.
But if Trevor Lawrence starts 17 games, as much as we love the boat, I think the boat's getting ready to be second on these franchise lists.
I hope you're right. And look, it doesn't really matter as long as they're winning football games, whether he comes close, surpasses it. But I think the yardage could be tough because Trevor has a lot of those 220-yard passing games. If the defense is playing opportunistic football again and the running game is competent, maybe there won't be the need to go for 4,500, but I definitely think the potential is there with the weapons that he has. Hayes, in terms of the protection and the blocking up front with this offensive line, do you expect at some point, whether it be training camp or during the season, either Wyatt Milam and or Emmanuel Pregnon pushes their way into the starting lineup?
I think it would take an injury, and obviously that's a position in which you see a lot of that. So, I mean, I would guess yes, just because, but that's more because I'm guessing that there'll probably be some attrition along the line, and they'll probably have no choice. If it's performance based, I'd be surprised. I think I'll give Ezra Cleveland a lot of credit. A year ago, I was ready to run him out of town. He played really well last year, proved me wrong. And McCary, I think, is going to fall into that category of the free agent that you sign, and year one's kind of frustrating. There's an injury. It's considered a disappointment. But then in the second year, they really rebound and have a strong year. So, I think Cleveland and McCary are pretty well set there. And so I just think it's going to be difficult. Milam, obviously, we don't know much about in terms of the injury, but he probably isn't some phenom. I think we can probably rule out he might end up being a good player in the NFL. I'm not saying that, but probably not. I guess my point is I think it would take somebody being like having really rare qualities as an NFL player. Maybe Pregnon has that. Obviously, we know nothing about Pregnon. He looks great. I mean, the frame, everything looks great. But I almost think that it's a pretty high bar. I think Pregnon or Milam would have to be pretty standout players to supplant Cleveland and McCary.
All right, fair enough. We'll see how those positions battle out in training camp. It won't be long. Hayes, back from vacation and back locked in on the Frangie Show afternoons at 4 o'clock here on 1010XL. Hayes, thanks for getting up and hopping on with me this morning. I'm assuming you're up already by 10 o'clock, but maybe not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know, man.
You never know. You never know. But no, Mike, I'm always happy to join you. Really enjoy the show and always enjoy talking with you.
All right, buddy. There he goes. Hayes Carlyon. You can find him at his name on X, Carlyon. Thought dawned on me there, RJ Saunders, because I do think the strength of this team is the connection between Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence. So when you say the passing game, that's fair. And Hayes quickly mentioned the influence of Liam Cohen and where he thinks he'll be considered next year. Here's a question for you. Maybe this will be a good question for tomorrow or Friday for a question of the day, but think about it now. Is Liam Cohen already the second best coach in the history of this franchise, having only coached here for 1 year? There's a difference between being the most accomplished and the best. There can be, at least. Sometimes it's the same thing. Let's flesh that out a little bit more coming up on the other side. Thanks to Hayes Carlyon, the Hammer, for getting us started today. The voice of the Jags, Frank Frangie, in hour number 2 with RJ Saunders. I'm Mike Dempsey here on Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
It's here, Middleburg. Firehouse Subs is now open at the all-new Clay Town Center. Try the bold new steak and cheese melts, stacked with premium steak, melted cheese, and big flavor in every bite. Firehouse Subs at the Clay Town Center, open now.
Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Jaguars today, Wednesday.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Wait, is that Ronaldinho? Ronaldinho, you think Brazil will win it all this summer?
Claro que sí.
Can I just say, you're my favorite player, ever.
Bet all of soccer's biggest matches this summer on Hard Rock Bet. And keep your cool in case you run into Ronaldinho. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and back your country. Roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Looking for a full contact sport that just hits different? You're looking for Rugby League. The Jacksonville Axemen play the Sarasota Bull Sharks this Saturday at JU's The Rock Stadium at 7. Get there early so you don't miss the 80 minutes of nonstop action. That's this Saturday at 7. The Axemen are powered by Permit Rockstar, who simplify construction permits fast. Saturday night, Axemen Rugby League, 7 p.m., The Rock Stadium. It's going to get intense.
Homeowners running out of space in your kitchen, closets bursting at the seams, or maybe your bathroom just feels outdated and cluttered. At Harvest Construction and Remodeling, custom cabinets are what they do best. Owner Scott spent years as the main cabinet installer for one of the region's largest big box retailers. As a family man growing his own business, he brings that experience directly to homeowners like you. They'll create beautiful storage solutions that improve look, feel, and function. Visit harvestrenovations.com.
License number CRC 1331012.
Want to stretch that dollar? Taylor Doll here to help save you money with the Money Pages magazine and app. Trying to figure out dinner? Money Pages has deals at your favorite local restaurants. Need auto repairs or an oil change? Money Pages has coupons to help you save. Looking to do some home improvement projects? Money Pages has deals on everything home, from AC repair and plumbing to flooring and painting. Check your mailbox for Money Pages today and download the app for savings on the go.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy drinks, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus, straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, the Checkmate King.
The two most important factors behind a great garage floor coating are the preparation and the application.
So we prepare every floor with high-performance diamond grinding pads. But just ugly diamonds, right, Brendan? If we find any nice ones, I could use some crown jewels.
Sorry, Chester. Our special grinding pads use diamonds that are too ugly for jewelry.
But they create the perfect surface to bind with our multi-layer polymer coating for years of durable performance.
You'll have to pick out jewelry on your own time, Your Highness.
The term is Your Majesty, Brendan, but I'll let it go this time.
Perfect preparation?
Check. Expert application?
Check. A gorgeous new floor that sparkles like a diamond in your garage? Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com. That's checkmatecoatings.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars today on 1010XL.
I want to explore this a little bit on Liam Cohen's standing here in Jaguar lore. And granted, he's only been around for 1 year, but took over a team that was a 4-win team. There was a coach, and I'm not going to name him yet because RJ's going to tell us all the Jaguar coaches he can remember from time. There was one that I think would have been a tough pull for me. But this includes interims. But this guy infamously said, well, I don't know how this guy won 6 games the year before with the roster the way it is. Well, Liam took over a team that won 4 games the year before, and there were no excuses made. And granted, it was a rip them out by the roots front office overhaul for sure that contributed to the success. But, I mean, winning percentage-wise, forget it. Liam's at the top of the heap. But, all right, RJ, you are not as steeped in the Jaguar lore. I think Tony Smith would crush this. I don't know if he would get every single one, but he might. I don't want to put anything past Tony, but name me, including interim, how many of the 10 head coaches you can name for the Jacksonville Jaguars?
If I get the correct interim, then I feel like it's 7. If not,
okay.
I can name 6.
All right, let's see what you can do.
All right, so let's get both the Dougs out the way, being Doug Marrone and Doug Peterson.
Okay, Doug Marrone, Doug Peterson. Interesting place to start with the Dougs.
Let's go with the potentially number 1 and number 2 best head coaches ever here in Jacksonville, and Tom Coughlin and Liam Cohen.
Okay, so you got the bookends.
Yes.
Yeah, and you also have Doug Marrone was coach number 6, if this helps you, and Doug Peterson was coach number 9.
We have the Herbs.
Yeah, Urban Miller,
Urban Liar, Jack Del Rio.
Jack Del Rio, and he was the one who said, I don't know how Tom Coughlin won 6 games, with smoke and mirrors.
And then, I forget who was the interim after.
Who was the
Peterson.
interim when Del Rio got fired?
Gus Bradley?
No, but that's another one.
Oh, okay. Hey,
Gus Bradley, right? So what is that? You just have you done? Is that 6 or that's 7?
That's 7.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
All right. Mel Tucker was Jack Del Rio's interim replacement. Went 2-3 in 5 games at the end of the 2011
Who was
season.
the interim when Doug was let go?
Doug did not have an interim. Right? Doug Peterson or Doug Marrone? There was no interim.
Meyer. Who was the interim?
That's the one that's the trickiest, I think.
No.
All right, so Jack Del Rio got fired. Mel Tucker was the interim. You missed Mike Mularkey, who came in to post a 125 winning percentage in his one season here in Jacksonville, 2-14. Great memories there. Gus Bradley followed up and Gus is like in the bottom. It might be the worst, but he was in the bottom 2 in terms of coaches who coached 50 games or more for the worst winning percentage at 226.
I'm so disappointed in myself. How could I forget Mularkey when I reached out to him a couple months ago to come on this show?
Yeah, and then now he's definitely not coming on.
Definitely not.
Doug Marrone, Urban Miller, and the interim for Urban was Darrell Bevel.
Darrell Bevel.
That's games. I was like, that's one of those. Oh yeah, that's right. It would have taken me a while, I'll be honest with you. And that wasn't that long ago that Darrell Bevel was the interim coach here. And then Doug Peterson for a few years, and now the present day Liam Cohen. Doesn't Liam feel like, at his age, he's going to be here so much longer than any other coach? Now granted, we're all in the kind of the honeymoon phase, but you got a franchise quarterback who's 26 years old, man. And you've got an aggressive, hopefully very smart front office that will continue to replenish the pipeline for you this offseason, notwithstanding. We all understand the reasons why they took this approach. Time will tell whether it was the right thing, but maybe we're just awash in the 13-4 record. But with good reason.
We haven't had too many of those.
One blown call away from the number 1 seed in the AFC. You know how many division titles Jack Del Rio led the Jacksonville Jaguars to in his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus seasons? That'd be 0.
Right.
0 division titles. Couple of second place finishes. Several second place finishes. Now, granted, you had Indy and Peyton Manning, at his height during that time period, but that's what we want Jacksonville to become. We want people to look back and say, well, how many could we win? Jacksonville had Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen, rolling it out every week. So let's dig a little deeper into the comparison between Liam Cohen and who else would even be the candidate for the next best. I think a lot of people usually put Del Rio in there, but is that because of longevity? I'm not sure. So let's jump into that when we come back and wrap up hour number 1. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Good friends, great sports talk, and summer on the First Coast. 1010XL.
When it comes to orthopedic care, experience matters, and teamwork matters even more. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, our fellowship-trained specialists work together to treat a full range of conditions, from knees and shoulders to spine, sports injuries, and joint replacement. You'll be guided by the right specialist for your needs, with coordinated care and personalized treatment plans designed for better outcomes. Smarter care, faster access, trusted expertise. Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on Jaguars Today. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss.
Some auto shops call it an inspection and flag any little thing. That's called a wallet flush. At AA Automotive, they don't play that game. They fix only what needs fixing. AA Automotive on Richard Street. Boring name, awesome service, and no wallet flush.
In the fight against Alzheimer's, now is the moment we've been waiting for. With new treatments emerging in the fight against Alzheimer's and dementia, now is the time for hope and action. Held in over 600 communities nationwide, the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's is the world's largest fundraiser for care, support, and research to fight the disease. So get out, get moving, and join the Walk to End Alzheimer's, November 7th, downtown Jacksonville. Join the movement at alz.org/Jacksonville.
If you can hear that sound, you probably already know why we're here. That's a roof leak. Congratulations, you now have an indoor water feature. At Endless Summer Roofing, we specialize in removing water features from places they shouldn't be, like your living room, your bedroom, your other room. We use quality materials, show up when we say we will, and won't suggest duct tape as a long-term solution. Radical, I know. EndlessSummerRoofing.com. Your ceiling will thank you. Eventually.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $4,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
That shot finds the back of the net, and Sporting Jacks has opened things up.
After a successful debut season, the Sporting Jacks women's team is set to kick off the 2026 season on August 22nd with a home opener against the Tampa Bay Sun. Season tickets are available from as low as $70 for the season. Be there at Hodges Stadium as the women seek to return to the playoffs. For tickets, call 904-863-KICK or go to sportingjacks.com. Come be a part of pro soccer in Jacksonville with Sporting Jacks.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and when warm weather is here, we got to take advantage of it. Greg, what does Honda have, especially for beach weather?
It's riding season. Full line of small motorcycles, scooters, you name it, they've got it. We also have a full line of Vespa scooters in stock and ready to ride to the beach today.
If you log on cyclesofjacksonville.com, they've got it all?
Got it all. Cyclesofjacksonville.com. Come and see us there or on the showroom.
Atlantic and Regency, check out Cycles of Jacksonville.
1010XL is a proud supporter of the Alive Credit Union Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament, July 9th through 18th. Fish for fun and prizes and support Jacksonville Marine Charities. Learn more at kingfishtournament.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
RJ, when you say it's kind of fair to say that 10 wins is kind of a good baseline for a successful season in the National Football League. I think it's fair, right?
Yeah, double digits.
Even though we're up to 17 games, 10-7, still pretty good, right? Most years that'll get you into the playoffs, but it's definitely got you in the hunt, got you in the conversation. Bro, the Jaguars. I mean, not that I'm telling you anything you don't already know, but sometimes when you see the math laid out in front of you, it just still striking. In the last 20 years, since 2007, when they went 11-5, last year's 13-4 was the second 10-win season this team had in all that time.
A lot of heartache.
That was 2017, and, we all know where that season went. So somebody on the text line very emphatically said that'd be a big no to Liam already being the second-best head coach in franchise history. His rationale, until he takes us to where Doug Marrone took us, which was supposed to be the Super Bowl, so you have to give him that too. No, I don't. Like, at the end of the day, Liam Cohen's record was 13-4 last year. There's a bad call in the Cincinnati game, but that's his record. And I get that Miles Jack wasn't down. But even if Miles Jack scores, there's time left in that football game. We all think, we're very confident the Jags would have been in the Super Bowl that year. But we don't know. You can't know.
Doug Marrone played it too safe, especially in that second half, too.
Well, and who knows if they get up, maybe that would have been the right approach had they gotten the Miles Jack touchdown off that play. But they didn't, right? And they didn't get the first down. They had to punt it away, and on we go.
If I could ask you this question.
You certainly can.
How much would that second half heater that Jacksonville went on in 2017, how much do you credit that to the players versus how much you credit that to Doug Marrone?
Look, you gotta be fair. Like,
they got hot at the right time.
They did, right? And they had, you had Calais, right? And you had Ramsey and Boye had the best cornerback season of anyone in the league that year. They also had Blake Bortles at quarterback.
Right.
So, you tell me, Blake's a legend around these parts for who he is as a person and a guy, and his boat, his approachability and his personality, all that stuff. There's no question you take Trevor Lawrence by leaps and bounds at the most important position on the field. So I'm not going to get into how much is on the players. It's a combination thing. And every excellent coach has excellent players. I mean, Tom Coughlin didn't get there without Fred and Jimmy and Baselli and Mark Brunell and Keenan McCardell and all these, Kevin Hardy and all these guys. And that's credit to Tom Coughlin for bringing in those guys. But that's a different aspect of it. We're talking about just on the field coaching. It is, I'm not, by the way, this is a speculative thing. It's an opinion question. So if you want to feel that Doug Marrone is the second best coach because he got them to an AFC championship game, the only other coach other than Tom Coughlin to do so, that's certainly your prerogative. And Doug did come in right at the end of the Gus Bradley era. I think he went 1-2 in a couple of games at the end of the season. He got the full-time gig. He was here for 4+ years. So in his first year, he won the 10 games, which is good. And the Jags did make the playoff run, which was fantastic. And I'm not going to, they barely snuck by Buffalo. They won. We didn't sneak by Buffalo in January of this year, right? So you get credit for that. 10-6 and a great playoff run. The next year, he was 5-11. So after getting the full-time gig, it took him 2 years to win 15 games. Now, granted, there were only 16 games, but still. Liam Cohen's got 13 of those bad boys under his belt right now.
May surpass him in the first 2 games of the year, maybe.
Now, granted, you win a Super Bowl, you're going to be the most revered coach in franchise history, whether it's Liam Cohen or the next guy or the guy after that or whomever it happens to be.
You'll eat free for life here in Jacksonville.
Winning trumps all. Like, winning at that level, and if you want to feel like advancing in the playoffs is better than not, that's fine. And I do get that. But I look at it's like, never once did I look at Doug Marrone and go, this master strategist is going to have us, going toe-to-toe with the most brilliant minds. Not that Doug's an idiot. He's not. He's a good football coach. Yeah. But I feel like there's something special. Dan Hickens said it in Crosstalk this morning. Maybe it was Hayes. No, it was Hayes just a few minutes ago. Getting confused. Too many 10-10XL personalities. This time next year, where's Liam going to be considered? And if the Jags, let's say the Jags go 12-5, and Trevor Lawrence maybe doesn't set every franchise record, but builds on last year, a little bit better total numbers. Offense is outstanding again. Super dangerous team. Liam Cohen might be, forget these top 10 list of players. He might be in the top 5 list of coaches in the National Football League. Now, whether he actually makes that list, because there's a lot of, people are always going to say John Harbaugh because he won a Super Bowl years ago. And well, that's fine. Like, in this moment, not many guys I'd take on a par with Liam Cohen, and certainly not many I'd definitely take over Liam Cohen.
Since the Tom Coughlin era, is this the most confident that you've been in a Jaguars team that could potentially go all the way?
Bro, I'm sure I picked them in 2018 to go to the Super Bowl. I guarantee it. Coming off that playoff run, that defense, Saxonville.
We had just come off of beating New England, too. I think that was week 3 in 2018.
Well, but that turned out to be their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was. It was like, I think they started 3-1 with that win, and then it was like, pew. I have crazy, maybe even irrational confidence in Liam Cohen. I have more confidence in Liam Cohen than I do in Trevor Lawrence, and I have a lot of confidence in Trevor Lawrence at this stage of his career. Health is the big unknown. Not going to know. He's got to play through. We got to see Trevor do it from day 1 through week 18, carry that level into the postseason. You're allowed to have a couple of down weeks along the way, okay?
Absolutely.
But you can't have a down half of the season. You can't have he's a slow starter, But me personally, the way I feel today is we're not going to experience that this year. I don't think they necessarily pick right up where they left off, but I think you're going to see a very confident Trevor Lawrence with a great set of weapons around him. Like Hayes said, he feels the strength of this team is going to be the passing game, and I agree, but a lot of it stems from the guy who's calling the plays. He's got good raw material to work with. But Liam Cohen, man, it clears Tom Coughlin in winning percentage, but it's a different era, and Tom built it from scratch, right? You understand that. Tom Coughlin, 68-60 as a Jaguar head coach with a .531 winning percentage. The only coach other than Liam Cohen to have a winning record as a head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jack Del Rio, 489, 68-71. So same amount of wins as Tom Coughlin, 11 more losses. Mel Tucker went 2-3. Malarkey went 2-14. Poor Gus. Poor us. 14-48. Oh my gosh. I mean, couldn't happen to a nicer guy. I mean, he was the nicest guy you'll ever meet. Probably a pretty good defensive coordinator. Doug Marrone, despite starting 10-6 in his first full season, 23-43, 20 games under. Urban Liar, 2-11. Bevel, 1-3 as the interim, and Doug Peterson, 22-29. And that included back-to-back winning seasons, right? And then it all fell apart for the Jacksonville Jaguars back then. Yeah, 9-8, fell off to 4-13, and a seeming level of disinterest. Seeming, I say. That we all. I got to believe these guys don't get to where they are and then just decide one day to turn it off. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that we probably overplay that to some degree, but who knows? Just, I guess, as a Jaguar fan, be happy where you're at right now. It has been a long, bumpy road. It doesn't mean it's going to be smooth sailing this year. Maybe you missed the playoffs. Maybe you do have a bunch of injuries. Maybe you get in the first round and you get absolutely blasted. Maybe you get your heart broken in the AFC Championship game. I have no idea. Nobody does. But yes, to your question, where my confidence level right now is crazy high. And it's not just Liam. It's all the coordinators on this team, right? Leading their respective units, including Heath Farwell, but knowing that Liam put 2 of them in place and was smart enough to keep the one good one that we had here. I mean, so the coaching staff decisions and to be able to identify rising stars and guys that were capable of bringing the best out in players that have been around here at times for years and putting together their best seasons. Again, they're not all going to have breakout seasons. We talk about some, different under the radar players, but there are enough candidates out there that I feel like, half of that list that we went through yesterday with Jamal St. Cyr are going to take that big step forward. And as long as the other half don't take a big step back, okay, maybe you maintain, yes, other teams are getting better around you, but that's life in the big city. Internal improvement is the key for the Jacksonville Jaguars this year, and my confidence that they can get there is primarily number one item on the list, Liam Cohen.
I mean, I think for me, when you speak to Liam Cohen, and I mean, I understand I've only been in Jacksonville since 2015, but it does make me of the belief system that the players believe in Liam just as he believes in them. I don't know if we've had that with a coach, I mean, since Coughlin, where it's like, we believe in you just as much as you believe in us. It really feels that, I mean, whether it's guys like Marrone or individuals even like Doug Peterson, Urban Meyer, I feel especially, guys just checked out on those coaches and didn't want to listen to them anymore. Just wanted the season to be over. 1-2-3 Cancun. It doesn't feel that way with Liam.
No. On the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, Dempsey said Mel Tucker went 2-3. LOL. Well, he did. I'm not sure where the joke is in there. He was the head man for 5 games, and ended up not, with a losing record. I'm not blaming the long fallow period of the Jaguars on Mel Tucker. Trust me. I'm not. I'm just, going through chronologically on who the coaches were. And we got a guy right now with a ridiculous winning percentage of .765 at the helm. All right, hour 2 is on the way. Let's get to it next. Frangie coming up as well, voice of the Jags on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for DraftKings live all across this country in all 50 states, including the state of Florida. The Cup is down to its final matches. Got one more semi, got the consolation game, and then the big championship match. One trophy, one champion is crowned. DraftKings has you covered for every single one of those matches. The DraftKings app now live in Florida, so no matter how you're taking in the Cup, you're in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app. And right here in Florida, the world's biggest stage is in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers sign up with code 1010XL, spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards over 21 days. That's code 1010XL. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim. Issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends July 19th. Terms DKNG.co/predictions promo.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach. Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios, where Jaguars fans find common ground. 1010XL.
When your home or business deserves more than ordinary glass, you trust the experts. Capital Glass and Shower Doors has been elevating spaces for over 40 years with precision, craftsmanship, and clean, modern design. From sleek frameless shower enclosures to elegant glass railings, wine cabinets, and any custom glass that makes a statement, Capital Glass delivers unmatched quality, service, and attention to detail. Your vision, their expertise. Capital Glass and Shower Doors at capcoglass.com.
Helping you over the hump. Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Weight Loss Wednesday continues on Jaguars Today.
Get ready for PGA Tour champions to return to Hammock Beach Golf Resort and Spa for the 2026 Constellation Furyk and Friend, October 9th to 11th.
Hey everyone, this is Jim Furyk. Join us this fall for world-class golf, incredible food, live music, and an unforgettable weekend on the iconic Ocean Course.
Plus, don't miss country music star Billy Currington live at the Furyk Foundation concert on Friday, October 9th. For tickets and info, visit ConstellationFurykandFriends.com.
Some people speak football. Denny Thompson speaks quarterback.
That is what I do.
The Quarterback Whisperer. It's quarterback breakdowns every Friday on The Drip. Tuned up by George Moore Chevrolet.
And Encore Research Group.
On 1010XL.
Jeff Prosser here. When you need new windows or doors, you want high-end quality without the middleman markup. And that's why I'm telling you about Cash Building Material. Same premium materials, same beautiful finishes, but at a price that actually makes sense for your home. No subcontractors, no runaround, just their own experienced crews who treat your house like it's theirs. If you want it done right, the first time, get a quote today. Thank me tomorrow. For windows and doors, search Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
Ever call a service company for a simple repair, and suddenly you're being told you need to replace everything in your house? Not at Duck Duck Rooter. Whether it's plumbing, septic, or air conditioning, we start with one goal. Solve the problem you called about. No pressure, no scare tactics, no surprise charges. Just honest service done right. That's why homeowners across Northeast Florida trust Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Frank Frangie here with Coach Delaney from Coil Fencing. For years, your offenses have been putting up a lot of yards and points at Fletcher.
I hear Coil also gains a lot of yards in the fence world.
Yes, Frank. Coil Fencing has been serving the Jacksonville community and general contractors for 99 years. We fence tens of thousands of commercial and residential yards, all while maintaining an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
99 years?
That's right. Some might call it a dynasty.
To schedule your appointment, visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Picking here, or maybe you should call me Dreamfinders Danny. Look what Dreamfinders is doing again, an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down the rate and get in the game. You heard me right, a 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
Here's your 1010XL local sports update brought to you by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. At the 2026 ACC kickoff, Commissioner Jim Phillips backed expanding the college football playoff.
We strongly support a model that provides greater access to play for a national championship.
And July 29th at Miller Electric Center, your first open look at the 2026 Jaguars. Tickets drop today. Season ticket members at noon, everyone else at 1. Jags play in Jacksonville. That's your 1010XL local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
Right now, 84 degrees at 11:07. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars today on 1010XL.
All right, just this one, and then we're going to shift over to the continued lack of Jaguars in the ESPN top 10 positional rankings. But on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, Coughlin could not beat Tennessee. Del Rio chopped too much wood. Marone was baloney. Maroney was baloney. Liam is and will be the Jag GOAT, according to Irv. Well, I could go, Liam can't beat Buffalo.
That's how it stands right now.
I mean, if that's what your critique is, Tom Coughlin, they didn't beat Tennessee in 1999. That is a proven fact. They're also 14-2 that year, and we're playing in the AFC Championship game. 14-2 clears 13-4 with getting to the championship game included in that, including 62-7. So, anyway.
Which Leon Searcy, I guess, is still of the belief system that they should have saved some of those points for the next week instead of putting up that 62.
I wish they had. I wish there was a way to do that, RJ, but unfortunately there's not. Again, it's an opinion question, but I don't have to agree with your opinion. It's the way it goes. All right, top 10 wide receivers in the National Football League according to the polled coaches, executives, scouts, blah, 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 at ESPN, okay? Not any shock. If you've been drafted in fantasy football, you know who a lot of these guys are. They match up very closely. Jamar Chase at 1, Justin Jefferson at 2, Jackson Smith and Jigba coming off the season he had as Offensive Player of the Year at 3, Puka Nacua at 4, Amon-Ra St. Brown at 5, CeeDee Lamb at 6, George Pickens at 7, coming off a big year, Nico Collins of the Texans at 8, A.J. Brown at 9, and Devontae Adams at 10. I'm not going to quibble with that list. You didn't quibble with the order a little bit, but I think it's pretty solid. Honorable mention, Malik Neighbors. Easily a top 10 receiver. The knee situation is worrisome. He has proven to be an ascending talent, and I get it. And so you're like, hey, if he gets healthy, he's got plenty out in front of him, fine. No problem with that. Mike Evans, nothing but a damn stud, man. I mean, finally had the streak broken because of injury of 1,000-yard seasons to start a career. I think he restarts a new mini streak this year in San Francisco. Zay Flowers is an interesting one. Catch and run, stop and start as a lead, awareness of where people are when he catches the ball, according to a high-ranking AFC personnel evaluator, puts him basically 13th on the list. I'm going to skip 14 here for a second. 15 straight going to the Falcons, and Jameson Williams of Detroit got paid, can fly. He is fast. There's no question about it. Can he produce those kind of numbers like on an 85-catch pace? That'd be interesting. Also receiving votes, Alec Pierce. Got the big contract from the Colts. T. Higgins, very good player. DK Metcalf, Terry McLaurin, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Smith, Lad McConkey had a down second year, but so did Brian Thomas, who's right there. So they're at least acknowledging, hey, we think the talent is still there, and maybe they'll bounce back. Jalen Waddle, Chris Olave rounded out the list. I'm surprised Olave wasn't ahead, quite frankly, of Brian Thomas coming off the respective seasons that they had. The guy I skipped on the list would be number 14, Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill. His speed has held up incredibly well. It's still a force when healthy. It's just tough with the injury, and he's older now, according to an NFL personnel evaluator at ESPN. Tyreek Hill in 2024, coming off almost an 1,800-yard season, right? He had back-to-back 1,700-plus yard seasons. Then in 2024, he had 959 with 6 touchdowns. He played all 17 games, started every game. Last year, he played in 4 games, started 4 games. Had 265 yards and a touchdown. So he would have been on pace for 1,100 yards if he played all 17 and about 4 touchdowns, maybe 5, right? If you round up. And I get it. Some of it's the quarterback play and all that. I was surprised to see his name in there. Again, in the end, doesn't matter. You could have ranked Brian Thomas Jr. 159th. And it doesn't have to impact how Brian Thomas Jr. goes out and performs this year. At least let's hope that it doesn't. So not a surprise. Maybe, do we get Antonio Johnson as a surprise on the safety list coming off the second half of the season that he had last year? It's our last great hope. I think that's the last position they're doing tomorrow at ESPN. So we shall find out. Voice of the Jags, Frangie, coming up on the other side. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. We spend most of our time talking about things you really care about.
Football, baseball, basketball, what's left, huh?
1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Looking for an exciting, fun-filled evening the whole group can enjoy? Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. Get out of the heat and into the arena and enjoy Hawaiian night with the Sharks as they battle the Iowa Barnstormers. Saturday, July 18th. Kickoff at 7 and tickets start at just $15. Grab your flip-flops and favorite Hawaiian shirt and check out the amazing fire dancers at halftime. Bringing the whole crew? Try family packs. Get 4 tickets and $50 in food or merchandise vouchers, all for only $100. Go on the field after the game for the free autograph session sponsored by Flight Adventure Park. Get tickets or find out more at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. 904-621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made. Go Sharks!
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday
on Jaguars Today.
Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
I'm Matt Lennon with AB Signs. Your truck, trailer, or storefront should be your best salesperson. So I create custom signs and graphics that get your business noticed. Local, fast, and built to last. Call AB Signs and make your brand stand out.
Tommy Mac here for Duval Glass and Mirror. You don't have to remodel your entire home to make a big impression. Sometimes all it takes is a beautiful frameless shower, a custom-cut mirror, or just replacing that fogged, cracked, or outdated glass that's been bothering you for years. Jacksonville homeowners trust Duval Glass and Mirror for expert craftsmanship, honest service, and flawless results. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote today. There's only one name for glass and mirror. It's Duval.
This is when it starts to feel like football.
This is totally awesome. Thank you, everybody.
It's Cash Building Material SEC Media Days. If you miss an interview, look for the best of at 1010XL.com. Unlocked by Instant Keys.
Hurricane season is here,
And now is the time to make sure your property is ready. Weak, damaged, or overgrown trees can become a serious hazard when storms move in. Trust the experts at Lucas Tree Service with over 45 years of experience for professional tree trimming, removal, and storm preparation. Don't wait until a storm is on its way. Schedule your tree assessment today at lucastreeservice.com.
ET here for Encore Research. What if the next medical breakthrough started with you? Clinical research volunteers play a vital role in helping doctors better understand diseases and develop future treatments. This summer, discover how participating in a clinical research study can advance medical breakthroughs while empowering you to take an active role in your own healthcare journey. Are you ready to learn? Check them out at EncoreDocs.com. Together, we're building a healthier future for Jacksonville.
Hunting season in Northeast Florida is just around the corner, and Green Acres Sporting Goods has been serving Jacksonville hunters for over 55 years. And right now, you can lock in a summer deal on an AR-style 12-gauge shotgun for just $299. And while you're there, check out the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida and test shoot the newest bows by Hoyt and Matthews. Shop today at Green Acres Sporting Goods.
Jacksonville, get ready to wake up your American idiot. The Jacksonville Rock Orchestra brings the explosive music of Green Day with a live symphony to the Florida Theater July 18th. It's Green Day like you've never heard before, performed by an all-star rock band and symphony orchestra. One night only, July 18th at Florida Theater. Get your tickets now at floridatheater.com.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
1010XL, presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Everything you need to know about the Jaguars today on 1010XL.
All right, walking up to the plate now, hoping to break through with the fourth hit for the National League. It's Frangie, voice of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Frank, it is the slowest time of year for sports, but in about 2 weeks, it'll start to become the busiest time of year, won't it?
Here's what I'm going to tell you, Mike. That is absolutely correct. The Pittsburgh Pirates lead all of Major League Baseball in runs scored, and none of their offensive players were picked for the All-Star game. Just saying, Mike. Maybe that goose egg, they had it coming, bro.
Makes perfect sense, right? If you're gonna exclude the superstars of the National League, I will say this. I said to Hick, Frank, I don't follow I follow my team, right? But I don't follow every team like I used to. 36 first-time All-Stars was a lot for me to take in last night, man. I mean, wow. Like, who are any of these guys? And it wasn't like, and I'm like looking at these lineups and like, this is, not Clemente and Mays and Aaron. Like, what are we doing here?
Me too. I'm right with you. So,
Pete Crow Armstrong, Frank. I don't know if Pete Crow Armstrong's going to be in that same wing of the Hall of Fame.
Probably a different wing. You're exactly right.
I mean, good player, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, all right, let's put that aside. It's Jaguar talk time here, Frank Frangie. What's got you most excited with 2 weeks to go before camp?
I think, like always, I want to see what it looks like when it gets physical. We've been blessed to be able to watch OTAs and mini camp and this and that, but it's all in gym shorts, right, Mike? So I think what gets me excited is, and I know they don't hit a lot anymore in the preseason. They're going to hit some. And I think between the joint practices and the physical days, like Tanner Koziel was probably the one of the star tight ends of off season.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Nate Borkacher's here in part because he's physical, right? So does that change a little bit when the pads go on? So, and I think Tanner's going to be a good player. I think Nate's going to be a good player. So, I'm looking forward to seeing the new guys, Josh Cameron and C.J. Williams. I thought they looked good. How do they look when they get hit coming over the middle, right? So I'm looking forward to that part. The new guys, seeing them in pads, and seeing a little more physicality.
My guess is Josh Cameron will welcome it. Like he just seems
too.
like
Me
a rugged type player that's probably going to be delivering some shots. Frank, what is the position group that worries you or you have the most questions about right now?
There's two of them, Mike, for me, and I love what they can be. Running back is one, because there's not a player on the team that's been the number one guy on an NFL team yet. Now, I love what it can be. The fact that Bashil Tootin, if he's running back one, and Chris Rodriguez is kind of the downhill banger in the running back two, and obviously, Allen's going to be your third down back, and if they develop Jamari Taylor, I like what that all could be, but it's not a lot of guys that have done it. So I love the ceiling there, but I'm a little nervous about it until I see it. The other one's cornerback. They paid Buster Brown, who I think is going to be very good. I'm assuming they want Travis Hunter on the other side, who everyone thinks is going to be very good.
Mm-hmm.
But they're kind of new too. So both running back and cornerback for me, Mike. I love what I think they can be. I love their plan, but both are using a bunch of young guys. And I think when there's a bunch of young guys that haven't done a lot, that gives me a little bit of pause. Those are the only two. I think they have a good team. But those are the two positions that give me a little pause.
That's interesting. I think a lot of people think corner could be a strength of this team this year because they're anticipating Travis Hunter steps right in with the gifts that he brings to the table and, expect him to be elite right off the bat.
Oh, I'm among them. I think cornerback could be an absolute strength for them. Buster Brown, Montaric Brown's a good player, and he deserves the money he got paid. And I think Travis Hunter might be a superstar, but it's still two guys that haven't done it very much. Jordan Lewis has done it. Listen, if those two guys become what we think they could be, Mike, and Jordan Lewis is healthy and Jarian Jones is the fourth cornerback, oh, my goodness, I think he could be very good. It could be an absolute strength of the team. But it's a position I haven't seen yet. You know what I mean? I haven't seen those guys do it yet. So, but I'm certainly excited about the possibilities for sure.
I think it could be a bloodbath for the last couple of cornerback spots, depending on the math and how many they keep. I mean, with Jabbar Muhammad playing the way he did this offseason, and Christian Braswell's got some experience around here. So, they could turn out to be one of the strengths of the team, but I understand why you got to see it first a little bit. What do you think the plan is with Caleb Branshaw?
Yeah, here's the deal. I think they feel pretty good. If Antonio Johnson's what it looked like he was last year, and I think he is. I think Antonio Johnson's a guy that's physical, he's fast, he finds the ball, obviously. My guess is Antonio Johnson and Eric Murray will be their starting safeties. I would be a little surprised if when the Browns come to town if that's not the starting group, which gives Caleb Branshaw time to become a starting safety. Obviously, they drafted him very high a year ago, didn't play at all. So they don't know. They think they might know what they have, but they don't really know. But I think because you've got Antonio Johnson and Eric Murray, who I expect to be the starters, you've got some time with Branshaw. Now, if one of those guys get hurt and all of a sudden you want Caleb to be a starter when he's never played in the NFL, well, then that's a different paradigm. But I think that the plan would be let him develop, see what you got. He probably won't be one of the two starters. I also think the Jags did it a lot last year, Mike. Teams are playing that 6 defensive back thing, 3 safeties a lot. We saw the Jags doing a lot last year. I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of that. All depends on how Caleb develops. So I think they like what they've got there. The beauty is he doesn't have to it's not failure if you don't look up and he's not a starter if he doesn't develop as fast as you'd like him to.
Frank Frangie, voice of the Jags here. Frank, Eric Armstead, I think a lot of Jaguar fans were soured on the experience because, when he got here, is he a defensive tackle? Is he a defensive end? Who wants him playing out of position? Is it Balky? Is it Armstead? And the production wasn't there. But then last year, as Eric himself said, I thought I was having a pretty good year, and then I got hurt. He had 5.5 sacks, Frank, which is nothing to sneeze at on this team right now. How do you think this organization looks at him? Is this like the last go-round for Eric Armstead? And if so, what level of production do you think they're expecting out of him?
Your point's a really good one. Last year, people they were disappointed in what they thought they had gotten going into last year after the 1 year here. That was exacerbated a bit, Mike, because he didn't practice. Remember that? Didn't practice in camp very much. And so you're thinking, okay, on top of the fact that he wasn't very productive, is he too old? Now he's not even practicing in camp. What do we have here? Well, then I agree with him. He was pretty good. I thought he was by far their best 3 technique. But I thought he was pretty dang good before he got hurt. So my guess is there's a little something left there. These veteran guys, Calais Campbell's the ultimate of this. But these veteran guys find a little extra in the tank. You know that when everyone thinks it's about over and they're about done, the guys that want to keep playing, they find a little something extra. I thought that's what happened with Eric last year. Yeah, I think 3 technique is still a spot you don't know what you've got. Okay, you really don't know what you've got. So I think if he's a guy that Matt Dickerson actually was the best 3 technique against the run last year, but isn't as good a pass rusher. So I think he'll be in the mix again. But yeah, I think Eric Armstead's got a little left. I think he's a salty veteran. I think those older guys want to prove to people that they're not done yet. So I think they're intrigued to see what they got, but I don't think they're done with him. If that's what you're asking, I think there's still some time left for Eric Armstead. I do.
Yeah, by the way, I totally recognize the salty older guys hanging on for relevance. As RJ's holding up a mirror right now in the control room for me to look at.
Dude, I'm the one that needs the mirror, okay? For that, I get it.
That went without saying, though, I felt. Like that was a little hanging fruit. Frank, I don't need to go through the candidates. We all know who they are. Who's the most important wide receiver this year for the Jaguars?
Well, it's a great question. I think the most important wide receiver is Jacoby Myers because I think he's the veteran that you absolutely know what you have. Brian Thomas Jr. 2 years ago was spectacular running those deep routes, got off to the tough start last year and just had an okay year. Parker Washington emerged last year and started to emerge and looks like he's going to be a star in the league. But Jacoby Myers is the guy you paid. Jacoby Myers is the guy you went and got last year when you realized the De'Ami Brown thing wasn't working. So I think he's the go-to guy. I think he's the most important guy. I think those 3 together, like everybody else does, could be really good, man. I think, again, I keep talking about what it could be. If those 3 guys are what I think they could be, oh, man, I think it could be spectacular, Mike. I really do. But I think that's the big question is what that group can be. All of them are important in different ways. Parker Washington, because obviously he catches balls in the middle of the field. He's a punt returner. He's a young guy that's moving up. Brian Thomas Jr. has all. He's the fast guy, the deep threat. He's got all the ability. But I think of the 3, I think Jacoby Myers is the guy that I'm counting on the most.
Yeah, which is the way I asked it for a reason, right? Who's the most important? That doesn't necessarily mean who's the best or who you would, take first if you could only keep one. But I get it with the mix that they have right now. We had your cohort, Hayes Carlyon, on in hour number 1. And I asked Hayes, I don't know how I phrased it, what's the strength of the team or the thing that you're most looking forward to? And he said the passing game, in part, with the connection between head coach, play caller, and quarterback, Frank, is health the only thing that can keep this franchise from entering their golden age of quarterback play?
Yeah, I think so. It's well said. Yes, I really believe, and look, I'm always a glass half full guy. I know that. But even with that obvious disclaimer in place, I think Trevor Lawrence has hit a stride. I think, number one, it's his 6th year in the league. Remember this, and I say this, I sound like I'm trying to defend him, but he went into last year, he had 3 head coaches and 4 play callers, and he was in his 5th year in the league. I mean, it sounds like I'm making an excuse, but that's a reality. I think it was very clear that the way Liam Cohen unlocked so much in Baker Mayfield the year before, he did the same with Trevor. Liam even told me, we had him on the air a month or so ago, and he made a good point. He said, we had to figure it out. He said, we changed the way we played. We changed the way he played about halfway through the season. Around the time of the Arizona game, started throwing the ball down the field more, wanted him to use his legs more. Well, I think they figured that out. Trevor Lawrence is a good player, and I think he's hit stride. I love the 3 receivers. I'll say this. As I told you, I'm concerned about running back. I'm not about offensive line. It might be, and like you, Mike, I've covered the team the whole time they've been here. I've only called the games for 13 years, but we've covered them since they launched the franchise. It might be the deepest offensive line they've ever had. I mean, they have guys. If they're right about Milo, if they're right about Monheim, okay, they might have. They brought in Pregnon, who they really like. They may be 9 or 10 deep along the offense. Walker Little's probably not even going to be a starter. They might be 9 or 10 deep of good players along the offensive front, which I can't ever remember that being the case. That's odd in the NFL. So yes, I think they're built all along the offense. I think Trevor's going to have a very big year. I'd be very surprised, barring injury, if he doesn't.
All right, so let's wrap up with this. You mentioned and included Monheim. There's 3 young interior offensive linemen that are pushing, hopefully the vets, and creating a competitive situation. Do any of those 3, not because of injury, earn a starting job either in camp or at some point this year?
That's a great question. I do think at some point that Pregnon, Monheim, and Milam will be the middle of that offensive line. At some point, that will be the middle of the Jaguars' offensive line. I don't think they start the season that way. I think as for Cleveland starts the season, Hainsey, McCary, barring injury, I think that's your starting interior when Cleveland comes to town, Mike. But, yeah, my guess would be one of those guys beat out a guy. You're going to ask me which one? I don't know. Maybe Milam. He's a guy they like a lot. It's harder for a center to jump in. But, yeah, I would say give me one of those guys by midseason as a starter. But I don't think they start the season that way. They start the season with those three veterans, would be my guess.
All right, and my heavy bet would be on Milam to be the first to break through if one of them is going to this year. All right, voice of your Jacksonville Jaguars, Frangie. Frank, enjoy the next couple of weeks, and look forward to seeing you out there for training camp.
We're going to blink, Mike, and we already have blinked, and it already is here, so I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, man. Take
All
care,
right, buddy. There he goes, at Frank_Frangie on X, and you'll hear him, of course, this afternoon with Hayes Carlyon coming up at 4 o'clock. All right, let's come back. We got today's golden moment. Want to look at today's question of the day poll, RJ, and see where you come in on that one. Got a lot still to do. Oh, no, we got an alert going off, man. I did have my phone muted, but endangered adult in Jacksonville. I hope he is found very quickly. So there you have it. You're probably all getting that alert right now, as I am too. Still kind of befuddled on how that technology works on a widespread basis, but I'm not the smartest guy. You know, that's a known fact. All right, more Jaguars today, straight ahead on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Oh, man, I love Dandy. I love their tuna salad sandwich, but just about everything I've ever tried for Dandy hits me right in the sweet spot, and that's my belly. Absolutely delicious food made with the highest quality ingredients, locally owned and operated now, as you well know. Since 1956, the Thompson family started Dandy way back then, 70 years ago, and I've talked about their products probably for about 15 years here on this program, and personally been a Dandy customer for more than twice that long. Dandy's the perfect go-to when you're in a hurry and you don't want the hassle of a long wait. You can't go wrong. A great value compared to the drive-thru. Fast, fresh, always tasty, as I said. High-quality ingredients, great variety, and they're always waiting for you in the cold case at convenience stores all over town. So the next time you're in a Dailies, walk right to the fresh case, look for the Dandy and Anytime Deli labels. And if you're in Duval and hungry, do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy, and do it today.
Jaguars today for the renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. 1010XL is multimedia. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
You can't buy this kind of media exposure.
1010XL, maximum media exposure.
Jaguars fans, grab your passport. Open and fund a new Everbank Performance account for your chance to win the Everbank London Getaway Experience. One winner gets round-trip airfare for two, 4 nights hotel, and 2 tickets to the Jags game in London this October. Start your journey today at everbank.com/London. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry period from 6/29 to 8/27/26. Get official rules and details at everbank.com/London Rules. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank N.A. Member FDIC.
What if the next roof you put on your home was the last one? Not another replacement in 15 or 20 years, the last roof. Metlock Roofing is Florida's only manufacturer and installer of this exclusive roofing system. Engineered for strength, built for Florida weather, backed by a lifetime warranty. Imagine never needing another roof. Call 938-9933 or visit metlokroofing.com. Get your last roof today with Metlock. License number CCC 1335581.
Hey, I'll be home in about 10 minutes. Actually, make it 8.
Hey, Mom. Yep, I'm walking home now. Mom, I'm trying to cross, but I don't think this driver sees me. No, they're driving too fast. Mom!
Speeding catches up with you. Early, on time, a little late, just get there safely. A message from the Florida Department of Transportation's Target Zero initiative.
Tailgaters parking is approaching sellout for this upcoming season. Permanent restrooms, all-day security, and on-site restaurant pavilion. Due to stadium construction, your previous parking may be gone. Log on to tailgatersparking.com today.
Hey, gang, Prosser here. Nothing like a good promise kept, and that's what you get from the Promise Keepers, Chad and Sandy at Chad and Sandy Realty. Your home sold guaranteed, or they'll buy it. Chad and Sandy have the largest pool of buyers in the area. Their home selling program is designed to maximize your sales, and the proof is there. Need max price? Chad and Sandy's science-based system is a proven, repeatable system guaranteed to sell, or they wouldn't offer you this promise. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they'll buy it. No required repairs. Pick your move date. You are good to go. Robert at Cordova Palms in St. Augustine said, I needed to downsize, but my home had already been listed with another agent for 136 days and failed to sell. I heard Chad and Sandy on the radio, decided to give them a try, made all the difference, bought me a full price offer just 18 days. They can for you too. Go to chadandsandy.com.
Lauren Brooks here. If you're like most of us at 1010XL, you have a long list of things you want to get done around the house before football season begins. Do yourself a favor and make an appointment today to check out Closets by Design's new showroom on Phillips Highway, especially the incredible garage. Closets by Design can help turn any garage into a custom organized space. Call 904-878-9393 to schedule your free in-home design consultation and get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and free installation, or online closetsbydesign.com.
Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Hey Jacksonville, this is Lauren Brooks. Here's one more reason to go to Big Chief Tire. When you buy tires, you're automatically enrolled in their Extra Mile program, giving you ongoing benefits like $10 off every oil change, free tire rotation, free air checks, and more. It's Big Chief Tire's way of rewarding local customers with real savings long after the sale. Visit WeKeepJacksRolling.com to learn more about their Extra Mile program today.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, golden moment. We had both the Hammerhays, Carlyon, and Frangie with us today, but really, we're only just 2 weeks out, RJ. They'll be on the field in 2 weeks from today. We'll be doing our show live down at the Miller Electric Center on that Wednesday, the 29th. So it's coming, whether you're ready for it or not. It'll be here before you know it. By the way, I mentioned this yesterday. I said I'd circle back to it, and there's still a little bit of time, but not much. If you're a season ticket member, you can log on at noon, go to jaguars.com/training camp, and try to secure your spot for any of the open practices. There are 10 of them that you'll be able to attend at the Miller Electric Center. The general public, it opens up at 1 o'clock, but you can pre-register to kind of get early access. So you can go right now to jaguars.com/training camp if you're waiting to get in there and make sure you've got a spot. It doesn't cost anything to do or to go, but there is a finite amount of seats. There are a finite amount of whatever. There's a finite amount of seats. So you got the idea. They want to know how many are coming, and they'll be prepared for you, and hopefully we'll see a bunch of you out there. The 29th, 30th, and 31st, we'll be doing our show out there each of those days, so we'll look forward to that. Also, the Jags yesterday put out a post, and they did it kind of like tongue-in-cheek, but they're not putting this out unless this is an issue. And I've heard this from people. We talked about this, RJ, with people. There is a misconception from some. Now, I assume most people listen to Jaguars today are a little bit more hardcore about the team, whatever the case. And they realize they're playing 6 games here in Duval this year, a couple of games in London, but they're playing them in Duval. They're not playing in Orlando. And the Jags put a post out yesterday having a kind of a fake dialogue with Dave Ramsey. I'm not sure how that fits in, but I don't listen to Dave Ramsey. So are the Jags playing in Duval this season? Yes, Dave. But people still seem to think they're playing in Orlando. That's correct, Dave. So we need everyone to spread the news and help us lock down the bank. It appears so, Dave. So I'm telling you. Oh, so they are in Orlando for a couple of years, or they're in Orlando this year. How are they going to No, that's next year. And the Jags specifically did it. And granted, it's only 6 home games, but that was due to public clamor for saying, don't take our team away for 2 full seasons. And so, yes, there'll be 6 home games in Duval proper this time around. All right, we got a couple of things to clean up here, RJ. Today's question of the day was prompted by a piece among the biggest remaining offseason priorities for each AFC team. And in the South, they listed a linebacker for the Colts. They did move on from Zaire Franklin. They drafted C.J. Allen. A lot of people are high on him. The Texans is the offensive line. It's been an issue for them. The interior of the offensive line for the Titans. For the Jaguars, they went with linebacker. Here's what they said about linebacker. Jacksonville's a candidate for regression after going 13-4 during the regular season. The offensive line worked last season, but a Jaguar does not change its spots. Preconceived notions on a player can shift in the short term, but are generally accurate long term. In other words, we were wrong about how good they would be, and we're going to be right this time. I mean, that, and by the way, what does that have to do with linebacker? Nothing. There's a good chance some part of the interior offensive line featuring Ezra Cleveland, Robert Hainsey, and Patrick McCary fails this season. Have we not discussed this morning and ad nauseum? There are plenty of guys in the chute ready to go, particularly at guard. I don't think Monheim's pushing Hainsey out of the center spot, but there's a lot of options, and that's the thing. Are they the best offensive line? No, but as Frank said, maybe the deepest they've ever had. Next paragraph. The coaching staff is excited about the running backs. I thought linebacker was the issue here. Despite the loss of Travis Achan, they may not have a feature back, but the collection of skill sets should allow them to execute the offense. The defensive interior must improve. When I hear defensive interior, I think defensive tackle. That's what I think. But I think they're referring to linebacker. And then they finally address the position. Ventrell Miller is unproven, will be asked to take on a larger role in the absence of Devin Lloyd. Why don't you lead with that? That is like every other one. That they're leading with the issue by the second sentence. And here we are, one sentence thrown away in the final paragraph. This is kind of weird, the way they set it up. So we asked you today for the Jacksonville Jaguars as training camp is rapidly approaching here. How do we pose it? Which position groups, out of the ones we gave you, or which position group worries you the most for the 2026 Jacksonville Jaguars? And the options we gave you were defensive line, thinking edge rush, linebacker, which that's CBS's nominee. And I get it. People are wondering how you're going to replace Devin Lloyd. Offensive line, because, again, are they deep? Okay, but are they elite? Let's see. And your left tackle's hurt right now. Let's not forget that aspect. And running back, which is probably the most unproven room that they have on their roster. RJ, this is a banger of a poll because the highest percentage is just under 30 at 29.5 for both defensive line and offensive line. The lowest percentage is almost 20% at 19.7 for linebackers. So interestingly enough, people think linebacker is the least worrisome of these position groups. Let's come back, cast our ballot on that. But right now it's running very tight. So if you want to have your voice heard on that, you can vote at MD_1010XL on the X platform. One segment to go. Mike Dempsey and RJ Saunders here with you on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for DraftKings, live in all 50 states, including the state of Florida. That's right. The Cup is down to its final handful of matches. One trophy, one champion, and DraftKings has you covered for every single one. The DraftKings app is now live in Florida, so no matter how you're taking in the Cup, no matter when you're watching those matches, you're in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app. Right here in Florida, the world's biggest stage is in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers sign up with code 1010XL. Spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards over 21 days. That's code 1010XL in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends July 19th. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo.
Jaguars today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. 1010XL. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care. Official dental partner of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
Key Buick GMC, proudly family owned and operated since 1943. On Southside and JTB, for a limited time, Key Buick GMC has marked down select new GMC Sierra 1500 models. Below employee pricing, you pay less than what our employees pay. Plus, at Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Visit us or shop online at keybuickgmc.com. We are professional grade. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drive time only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on Jaguars Today. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss.
Hacker here for Cornerstone Interior Solutions. If your AC is working overtime every summer, your insulation may be the problem. Homeowners and builders across Northeast Florida are calling Cornerstone to upgrade to spray foam insulation. It seals homes, crawl spaces, garages, blocking in cool air and blocking out heat. So your home stays cooler, your system runs easier, and your energy bills stay under control. Don't wait for peak heat. Visit CornerstoneInteriorSolutions.com.
Looking for a full contact sport that just hits different? You're looking for Rugby League. The Jacksonville Axemen play the Sarasota Bull Sharks this Saturday at JU's The Rock Stadium at 7. Get there early so you don't miss the 80 minutes of nonstop action. That's this Saturday at 7. The Axemen are powered by Permit Rockstar, who simplify construction permits fast. Saturday night, Axemen Rugby League, 7 p.m., The Rock Stadium. It's going to get intense.
Got a dent or a scratch that needs fixing? San Jose Collision in Mandarin offers expert auto body repair and works with all insurance. Family owned and locally trusted. San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Whether you're undertaking a major home renovation or just a simple repair request, American Electrical is your 5-star Jacksonville-based electrician to get the work done right. Experienced design building department working seamlessly with their electrical contracting department to help you create beautiful lighting spaces and electrical plans that make your house flow. And remember, with American Electrical, it's wired right at a fair price. Call American Electric at 737-7770. Look for that red, white, and blue eagle on the side of their truck, and you'll know it's American Electrical.
1010XL's coverage of ACC football kickoff is brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. Listen for interviews of coaches, players, and analysts as they preview the upcoming ACC football season.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Bernardino Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect Pilsners and lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Bernardino Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, D-line, linebackers, O-line, running backs. RJ Saunders, what's got you most concerned or questioning the most out of those position groups for the Jags?
I think defensive line, just due to the fact that I think we're, as we said at the top of the show, do we still have enough in terms of being able to have a pass rush there? And I think if we do have a pass rush there for the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think not the exact numbers that we had last year in terms of turnovers, but I think it will surely help if we do have that. And you pick up guys like Rukarororo. You also had picking up Williams and Durfee in the draft. You have Strigow. You also have BJ Green there to help out with your bookends, and Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker. We just haven't seen it yet on the field to where we can feel that confident, even when we had Strigow and BJ Green, and they did have their flashes and spurts. So hopefully in that defensive line, especially on the interior and on the outside there on the edge, still kind of concerns me a bit, but we'll be able to find out here sooner rather than later.
Yeah, for me, it's not my number one concern because, look, I'm looking at it like this. Where's the improvement going to come in the pass rush? How about Josh Hines-Allen gets up to like 13 sacks, right? Coming off of 8. How about Trayvon Walker? As I said yesterday, I think 12 is a good number for him this year. Eric Armstead, had 5.5 in a season where he was banged up. What if he gets to like 7.5, right? And then you throw in a healthier Gardeck, further removed from injury, and hopefully Campanelli can scheme some of this up. Is it ideal? No. But not every team has like 3 guys that make you go, uh-oh, got a game plan for this guy, and if you lose one of your top guys, you're going to suffer in most cases. So it wasn't my top one. I think linebacker can be schemed around a little bit as well. I think, they're not going to get the production out of Devin Lloyd, but they probably were never going to get the production out of Devin Lloyd. Maybe I'm irrationally optimistic about the running back room, but I'm excited to see what Basil Tootin can do in conjunction with Chris Rodriguez and LaQuint Allen. For me, even though the offensive line is deep, and we always try to assume, like, if everyone stays healthy. Well, Cole Van Landen is not healthy. And he is your left tackle. And he is the guy that, in just a handful of appearances, impressed the Jaguars front office and coaching staff enough to earn a contract extension right before the end of last year. And it is a mystery timetable. Is Walker Little good enough for you to repeat as AFC South champions against some of those elite pass rushers that they'll face in their own division? I don't know the answer to that. He may be one of the better backup tackles in the league, but he is, at this point, a backup tackle in the league.
Well, that was going to be also a question that I don't know as of yet if we've looked at it from this respect. With McCary being a guy who is looked at to be able to play all 5 positions along the line, would you be more confident if you were to have McCary play that left tackle spot and then have one of the younger guys such as Milam or Pregnon fall into that guard position just until we figure out what's going on with Van Landen? Or do you think that just, automatically it should go to Walker Little until said otherwise?
Well, I mean, Walker Little should be the presumed option on the first rep of training camp. And he has been all season. And then let the battle begin, right? It doesn't just go to him, but somebody's got to be the lead in the clubhouse to begin with. And I think Basil Tootin will be that at running back because he's been here for a year on this team. And I think that matters. And because, again, by the third rep, it doesn't, look, if this other guy's outperforming you, it won't matter. So, look,
I think it also feels like Cohen's going to be a guy. He did it a lot last season with the offensive line. He's going to kind of switch it up, put guys in different places to see what works, see what doesn't work. I think he had, hey, I'm going to have 5 different offensive linemen for this go around.
Cross training, guys.
Yeah, cross training.
And I want to see how much of that goes on this year, because I think obviously if you think Milam has a chance to push for a starting job at guard right now, I don't want to see him bouncing around too much. I want to see him focus on trying to win that job. But to me, he'd be the most intriguing option at left tackle because of his youth, his experience doing it, kind of his attitude and rep as a bully, right, on the corner there. You don't always need a bully, though. You need a guy that knows how to slow down the guy who's got his ears pinned back and coming after your quarterback. And, so I'd put an offensive line at the top right now. By the way, our 2 choices are tied for the lead in our poll today. If you haven't voted, you're certainly welcome to on X at MD_1010XL. All right, Joe, you got the primetime crew out on the road today, so let's welcome them in.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Joe C. and company. Joe, where are the fellas at today?
We are right along Bowden Road. We're steps away from you.
Okay.
We are set up under the tent. I feel like I could tell you we're across town, but it would just be a straight bold-faced lie. But right here on Bowden Road, 6500, you'll see the 1010XL broadcast bus out front. Wingstop has a tent set up, and then we have a tent, and this is a diaper drop for JJ. We're hoping people will bring diapers by. His newborn is coming into this world at the latest on Friday, Mike, and you can appreciate the diaper toll or price tag that comes along with a newborn.
Yeah, no doubt. And JJ's daughter-to-be will be doing some of her own diaper drops for JJ soon enough.
They called it a diaper drive. We're calling it a diaper drop because he's going to drop a lot of diapers in that waste disposal or whatever every single time he's changed one. He's never changed a diaper before.
Oh, he'll learn quick. It's not that difficult.
Yeah.
It's not that difficult.
No.
They make them now. It's not like a big piece of cloth that you have to fold up, obviously, anymore. So I figured it out. I'm sure JJ can as well. What do you guys be discussing other than that today, Joe?
We're definitely looking forward to a conversation with Tony Baselli. He is coming up at 12:15 today. He will call us and we'll talk all things Jaguars, just as you did with him and Frank did with him. But it's a good conversation, I think, for a lot of Jaguar fans every time you get to hear the VP of football ops. But he came out of OTAs and minicamp, I think, pretty much energized and excited about what he saw on the football field. So we'll definitely dig into that and some college football, of course.
All right, man. We'll be listening, Joe. Have a great show today, and good luck for JJ and company.
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, buddy. There he goes. By the way, our 1010XL podcast group here, we're starting a fantasy football podcast. First episode drops today. Trent Osborne's going to be hosting. I joined him to discuss the Jacksonville Jaguars from a fantasy standpoint. So if that interests you at all, that's going to come out at 5 o'clock on the 1010XL YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com, search 1010XL. Should pop right up near the top, if not at the top. That's going to be at 5 p.m., and there's going to be different clips posted on social media as well. Only drawback, I'm on video in that. It's not just my voice. So you might have to see me as well if you accidentally glance at the screen. All right, tomorrow, we're excited to welcome Brian Sexton into studio. Longtime voice of the Jags, senior correspondent for Jaguars.com. We'll pick his brain on all things having to do with the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's Dan for RJ Saunders. Great job today. I'm Mike Dempsey. Jaguars Today returns tomorrow from 10 to noon on 1010XL 92.5 FM.